Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Cloud Shala. My name is Vipul Agarwal and I work as a technical consultant at Salesforce. So, in this series, we will be understanding what all are the Salesforce Apex design patterns, what are their advantages, how we can use them, how we can implement them. So, all these things will be there. So, without a further delay, let's get started. So in Salesforce, we have multiple design patterns. Few of them are listed on the screen. So the first one we have a singleton pattern, other strategy, decorator, facade, bulk state transition pattern. In this session, we will be understanding what is a singleton pattern. In the further session, we will be understanding what are other Apex design patterns and their implementation as well. What is the agenda here? We will see what is singleton pattern, what is the structure, advantages, and then a quick demo. So, singleton pattern. From the name itself, we can understand in our programming language, for the classes, we will be creating a single object in a particular transaction. So, in our current implementation, we might be needing a particular object of the same class at multiple places in the same transaction. So to restrict the instantiation of a class to one single object is nothing but a singleton pattern. So the goal of singleton pattern is to provide a single object of that particular class throughout the transaction, and anyone can access it in that particular transaction. We will see what is the structure of singleton pattern. To implement this, we would be needing a private constructor and private static instance of that class, and public static method, and a public instance variable. That is an optional thing. Okay, so let's jump onto the demo. I am in my developer edition org, and here I will be creating a new class. Let's name it as a singleton. Yeah. So the first thing which we understood here, we need a private constructor. I hope you all are understand by the constructor. Constructor is nothing but a same constructor is nothing but a function which has same name of class. So I'll create a private constructor. Yeah. So by making a constructor private, it means we won't be able to create object of this class outside of this class. So I've created a private constructor, and then here it is mentioned private static instance of the class. I'll create private static instance of this class. Let's name it as a single object. And the third thing we have is public static method. So as we know, the static method will only be using the static variables which are defined in the class. And this method will be responsible to return us the instance of this class. I'll name it as a get instance. So here we can see the return type of this method is singleton. And yeah, so optionally we'll also try to create a public property which will be accessible outside of this class. I'll create a map, account map, and in this single private constructor, I'll try to initialize this map as this dot account map is true. I'll put a SOQL query here. Yeah. So this query will be returning all of the accounts which are present in my Salesforce all. And now we'll jump on to this static method, which we will be returning the instance of the same class. As we have created a single Singleton instance here as a static, and this method will be returning the same object from this method. So what I'll do, I'll put just a null check. If single object, by default, all the variables which we define is assigned as a null. So if that's the case, then single object equals to new Singleton, and we have initialized it, and we will return single object from this. Now we have created the structure of the Singleton class. So I'll just repeat what I've done here. I've created a class Singleton in which I have created a private static instance of that class Singleton and a public property map id comma count map. And I've created a private constructor Singleton in which I am initializing this account map with all the accounts which are present in my Salesforce org. And I've created a public static method which is returning me the instance of the same class as single object. So through the anonymous window, I'll try to access this class. So to create object of this, I'll use class name and I'll name the object as S1. So if I try to create object of this class, so will it allow me? Let's check this. No, because we have used access modifier here as a private in Singleton. So that's why it is not allowing us. Now to get the object of this class, I will be using class name and I will be using this method get instance, which is returning me the instance of that class. So we can see the return type of this method get instance is Singleton type, and we already have a static instance created inside the same class. Since this is a static method, we can use it with the class name and we can see we can get the object of the class in S1. And now if I go ahead and try to access this account map, which has already been initialized here. So I'll use system.debug S1 just to check whether it is returning us the accounts or not. So I'll go ahead and execute, and it has been executed successfully. I'll check this debug only, and yep, I can see that it has returned me all the accounts here. Now, so this here we have only used this single object of this class at once. So if I just try to print the name of all these accounts which are there, so I'll use a for loop and I'll use an ID variable. So this S1 is containing a map. I will be fetching all the IDs of that map. This will be returning all the IDs which are there. And so if I want to print the name of all the accounts, I would be using S1 dot, because S1 is nothing but an I was doing a mistake. I should be using account map. Yep. So map, and here I would be using a key set which will be returning me all the keys of that account. Yeah. So add account map. Yep. This will be returning me, this statement will return all the names of those accounts which are returned by this query. Since I'm fetching all the accounts, it will return me all those accounts here. And let's just comment this out and execute this line. It should be returning me all those accounts which are present. Yep, so you see here, it is returning all the names of those accounts which are present. Now, let's say this is one thing. I am using the object of the Singleton class S1 here. Now again in the same place, if I need to use it and if I need to print the industries again, then I don't have to create a new object again. I can use Singleton S2 equals to single instance again, and since the instance has already been created, I don't have to again create a new instance of that class. And if I go ahead and print the industry of all these accounts which are being returned in this, then I can go ahead and try to print the industry here. It should be printing me all those industries. So if I go ahead and debug only here, so yeah, we can see till here it has returned me all those accounts, and further onwards it is returning me all those industries which are present. Right. So yep, that's all for the demo. We can see the advantages of the Singleton pattern. Provides a single global point of access to a class instance throughout the application. We have seen it provides a single instance. We don't have to initialize the class again and again, initialize the object, and we can use the same object again and again in the same transaction. Only one instance is created, and it has minimized the memory usage and avoid the unnecessary duplications. It uses object instantiation, and it has improved the performance. Also minimized the use of governor limits. It supports the lazy initialization, creating the instance only when first accessed, and improved the performance. So that's all in this session. I hope you all like it. If you have any suggestions, feedback, then please share in the comment section. I would be working on those feedbacks. Thank you, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel for further updates. Stay tuned.